The first one is the review process. As you're well aware, if you finish in first or second in Independent A or Scholastic A, or first in the open classes, you're automatically reviewed by the WGI Review Committee. Now, anybody in a show can be requested to be reviewed. It can be by somebody on staff or an administrator. But in the case of our standard review process, we've now modified this so that the appeal process triggers and happens automatically. In the old process, you were reviewed, you got your result, you could then appeal it if you chose. We're going to do the appeal process immediately. So what that means is if you get a text message from us, WGI, at the end of the show, telling you that you're being reviewed to upload your video, you also must, if you want to write one, upload your letter that you want the committee of things to consider at the time you upload your video. That will mean that the initial review process will happen. And if it goes then from there onto the appeal process, which just means an expanded number of people, your letter is included in that process. When the results come out of a review, there is no further action to be taken. The decision is final. There'll be no appeal.
Let's review the voting process and the pathway to reclassification. Your video and letter of appeal goes to an initial review process, and that happens with 3 people: the director of the color guard division, the chief judge, and the education coordinator. Any one single no vote will stop the review process. The unit then stays in their original class. A unanimous yes vote leads to an automatic appeal. At that point, your video and letter of appeal goes to the steering committee instructors. A lack of majority of yes votes then stops that appeal. The unit stays in their original class. A simple majority of yes votes from the steering committee instructors reclassifies the units at their next regional. How that performance schedule is established is explained on page 16 of the Judge Manual. It's important to remember that if you find yourself towards the top of your class, many units are reviewed multiple times throughout the season, and reclassifications happen all the way through the regional season, including the last weekend.